Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Before I begin today, a huge thank you to Goatman Jack for the virtual gift voucher. Huge thank you my friend for the support, it is truly appreciated, thank you. But on to today. So Space Wolves Week has arrived, and of course being the Wolf Lord, I have most definitely been looking forward to this. And well, where better to begin than with the legend of the Wulfen. Spoiler warning to begin, the events we are discussing today are from the Warhammer 40,000 novel Space Wolf by William King. As always, I really recommend you read the story for yourself first, as that's the best way to enjoy the lore for yourself. Not only that, we help to support the great Games Workshop and Black Library, because without them we don't have this amazing lore to talk about. I will put a link in the description as always. But with that said, let's just jump straight in. So the Wulfen, the darkest secret of the Sons of Russ. Is it in truth a mere genetic reaction to the Canis Helix, the first and most pivotal piece of Russ's legacy? Or is it a test of spirit that only the strongest warriors can overcome, and one the unworthy fail to pass? Now, during a recruit's induction to the chapter, the chosen warriors of Fenris are first put through extremely testing physical trials, and indeed, many young warriors fall at this first hurdle, before ever beholding the mythical sight that is the Fang, home of Russ's legendary Sky Warriors. However, enough of these young recruits survive to eventually be taken to this ancestral home, and it is here, at the pinnacle of Fenris, they undergo their first true test, passing through the gates of Morkai and facing the temptations of the ruinous powers. Only then, once passing this greatest of challenges, are they brought before the Cup of the Wulfen. Now, the Cup of the Wulfen is one of the most sacred relics in all of Space Wolf history, as it is from this cup the initiates will drink the Canis Helix, the first and most dangerous part of Russ's gene seed. Should they master it, they will be blessed with the gifts of Russ, hearing and smell far beyond even that of their fellow Space Marine chapters, canines that can tear into armour as easily as any flesh, and a thicker, tougher skin. But of course it is not without risks, and those spirits not able to contain the mark of Russ will befall the Wulfen curse. It is during the classic novel Space Wolf, released all the way back in 1999, we get to witness Ragnar Blackmane, long before his future glories to come, as an initiate himself. And after passing all the trials before him, he and his fellows are taken before the Cup of the Wulfen. After witnessing what could transpire should they be overcome, they are regaled with the legend of the Wulfen. Back in the days when Russ first came to Fenris to recruit his warriors, there was a Jarl named Wulfen. He was a mighty man, fell and strong, proud in his power. He was a man gifted beyond all others in the art of war, and he was bested only once in his life, and that was by Russ, who humbled him before all his people, but seeing a worthy warrior spared him, and offered him a place amongst his warriors. As always with legends, you have to wonder where the myth ends and the truth begins. In Russ's earliest days upon Fenris, before his reunion with the Emperor of Mankind, was there ever a warrior named Wulfen? A rival chieftain, perhaps? Where does the kernel of truth lie at the base of this legend? This is so much a part of the character of the wolves that just makes them that little bit more unique, a breed apart from the rest of their fellow chapters. The characterful boasts and tales from a time long ago, so akin to the Vikings of our past, passed down by scalds through the ages. Russ spoke to the assembled men of Fenris and told them of his plan. He offered them power and a vast span of years if they followed him to make war amongst the stars. They roared their acceptance and hailed Russ as their chief. He told them they must drink a potent brew from the Great Cup, and thus would their transformation begin. Wulfen was the first to step forward, and he drank the glorious mead of Russ from the chalice. Here the perfect example of a truth layered within legend, the drinking of the potent brew from a great cup, the drinking of the Canis Helix, the first stage of becoming a space wolf, the same step those recruits are about to undertake. Though of course, what good is a legend without a message of warning? Evil still lurked in Wulfen. He was consumed by a secret gnawing hatred of Russ, and he planned to take treacherous revenge upon the man-god. The guardian spirit within the cup saw this the moment Wulfen put it to his lips, and it worked a spell on him, making his outer self match his inner evil. To the horror of those who looked on, the great chieftain changed. He turned into a dreadful thing, half man, half wolf, and he sprang upon Russ with a howl of hatred. But Russ was not dismayed. With one blow he crushed Wulfen's skull and slew the beast that had been revealed. He looked upon his followers and told them that Wulfen was unworthy, and that this would be the fate of all of those who drank from the chalice with evil in their hearts. He told them that those who wished could now depart without drinking. To our ancestors' credit, no man departed. All drank, and all gained the power that Russ had made their due. And thus began the founding of our chapter. And so the legend of the Wulfen is passed down through the generations to come, a warning from the past to guide the future sons of Russ. How much is myth? How much is truth? Only Russ himself can say, and he is not here to ask. Regardless, however, the threat of failure and the curse of the Wulfen remains, a very real threat, still to this day. In many ways so similar to their cousins within the Blood Angels, with the legacy of Sanguinius and their red thirst. The Canis Helix, the mark of Russ, is a trial that must always be mastered in order to count yourself a space wolf. So the legend of the Wulfen clearly dates back even prior to the founding of the Legion, or at least its reunification with Russ. Was Wulfen ever a fellow chieftain? Did he embrace becoming a space marine, only then to turn on Russ? If so, this is a moment not recorded in the history of the chapter. However, the legend endures, and the moral of the story remains true. Those who embrace the Canis Helix with doubt in their heart, with hatred, or a lust for power, will be overcome. Only those of true pure spirit will count themselves amongst the Space Wolves, the Sky Warriors of Fenris. and it is their tales that are still to come. As always guys, what do you think? Do you see similarities in the Space Wolves with their Canis Helix in regards to other chapters such as the Blood Angels? Or perhaps do you see them as something apart? How many truths do you see laid in the very origins of the legend of the Wulfen? Was there ever the chieftain named Wulfen? Was he ever beaten by Russ? And did he ever embrace becoming a Space Marine, only then to become the first to fail, to be overwhelmed by the Canis Helix? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, I love to read them. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again tomorrow as Space Wolves Week continues.